Welcome to the Songwriter Connection podcast. Our show originates in Nashville, Tennessee, Music City, USA. We connect you to the songwriters and the stories behind your favorite songs. Join us as we take a look at the craft of songwriting through the eyes of the songwriter. Now, here's your host, Dave Linehan.
So never last, do they, baby? Bad times all pass with the wind. Your hand in mine steals the thunder.
No, it's not Dave Linehan singing.
And you made someone.
Very important song, though, that Storms Never Last, written by Jessi Colter. And, of course, you know, that's Waylon and Jessi singing, right? Wrong. That is Waylon's grandson, Way, and our guest on the Songwriter Connection podcast this morning. We are very, very blessed to have Duane Eddy Jennings with us. Jenni, thanks for taking time to come and be on our podcast, Songwriter Connection. And you know what's even better is you're around the dining room table. We love when we get to hear music in person around the dining room table. So welcome. Good to have you here.
Are you kidding? Yeah, I feel honored to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Oh, we've got lots to talk about. And I wanted this show to be, you know, really about you and your journey, your musical journey. And I know you've got some great things happening in the future. But it's kind of hard to tell your story without telling the story of your family. And your mom is Jessi Colter, and your dad, Duane Eddy, who really changed things on guitar. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But you were raised by Jessi's husband. You called Waylon Jennings Dad as well.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot to talk about. But first, let's since we were playing a little bit of Storms Never Last. And by the way, I found that on YouTube. You can find that video of Way and Jenni singing that. I got a chance to play with you in the round recently at the Commodore Grill. And I remember the last song of the night, you said, would you all mind if I played one of my mom's songs? And you broke out into Storms Never Last. And it was just a classic moment because everybody in there was singing along. And it was just an amazing night. It was fun, wasn't it?
Yes, and we got to write together too. That was great.
Yeah, I loved it.
The country song we wrote. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to compete with my parents.
Bet.
They know how to write good songs, and they know how to put them out there, and everybody love them, you know. Mm-hmm. And so I guess that's good that I've had those influences. I hope that it's helped me in my writing be a better writer, you know.
I don't see how it couldn't, huh?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Well, we had people like Shel Silverstein and Tony Joe White and Willie Nelson hanging around our house at times. But I just kind of, being the kid, I just kind of saw them as people around the house.
People around the house.
I mean,
big deal, right?
I charged Willie Nelson 10 cents once to see my show when I was a kid. And I was singing like Carly Simon or, you know, something like that.
Wow.
But at 10, I started writing songs. It just came natural. Like, I got kicked out of piano lessons because I was playing by ear. And Waylon said, "Oh, don't worry about it, honey. A lot of people play by ear." And so...
you started writing songs when you were 10?
Yeah, it just started naturally writing on the piano. And I came to my parents with these songs, and I said, you know, like, one of them was, my first song at 10 was...
You remember these?
Yeah. Where is my life today? Where has it gone? I was real country. Yeah. Why am I sitting here all alone? Oh, honey, I don't think it's going to work, you know. And then I had a little attitude.
At 10 years old.
Yeah.
That's great.
And then I had this, the next one was, this old gray house reminds me of our love and our little child's sweet voice. She would come running to us. You know, and that tells the story. Mm-hmm. A bottle of wine is on the fireplace. His tender, soft touch still remains. You know, so it's kind of deep. And
for a 10-year-old especially.
And so Waylon says, and he would tell the story about me, but he said, honey, is everything okay? You know, this is kind of deep songs or something. I'd say, Dan, you can write a song and just tell a story. You don't have to live it, really. He's, oh, shut up, kid. So, anyway, they wanted me to get a good education and just be normal. But, it's kind of hard to be when your whole family
I bet it was.
Ain't normal. What is normal? I don't know. But,
yeah, I bet it was.
And so they really didn't want me, growing up in the business, I guess, is because people say, why don't you have a deal? Why weren't you in the business? Or how come you didn't do enough or something, And I'm like, well, you don't know, what someone's been through till you walk a mile in their shoes,
That's
as they
true.
say.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they didn't want me to be in the business, and I honored my parents. I believed in the Bible. My grandmother was a minister, and she had told me about God when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess she taught me that right before we got on the black bus of the Waylon, because when my mom split with my dad, we rode the black bus to Nashville. Mm-hmm. And that was, I don't want to say what year, because that was a long time
ago. And split with Duane, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, so I kept my faith, and that's helped me through a lot of stuff, but it was confusing, because, they didn't want me to be in it, but I wasn't going to give it up. It's a part of me.
Right.
I'm always going to write these songs.
In your blood.
So then they, did a song with me when I got a certain age, and then I started a family young too, and then by the time Shooter came along, they were hitting, doing really well. We watched them, build the business and get to the point where you tell them a little of the history, because you're better at that.
Okay. And I just love the country music history. By the way, we're recording this on May the 19th. I know we're streaming it in June because we worked quite a bit in advance on this show. But today, the 19th, is Shooter's birthday. He's 42 today, so let's wish him
I can't believe it.
A birthday. Happy birthday. Well, if you don't know the story, Duane Eddy, he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and he changed things really in the music industry. He had all those huge hits. Like Peter Gunn and Rebel Rouser. And he put the twang in that guitar. He had a way of playing these bass notes, a lead on the bass notes, and giving it that, yeah.
Rebel Rouser and Forrest Gump.
Exactly. You know the songs. And so he's in the country hall, in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Now, the story of Jessi and Waylon. And I remember I once told you that it would be great to have you on the show because you're like country royalty. And you're like, I don't see myself as country royalty because you're so humble and you've lived it. It's always there's been a part of you. But, Waylon's record, and I know it was released on RCA as Waylon Jennings. At the time, he was the only one signed with RCA. But we're talking about the Outlaws. One of the Outlaws album, which came out in 1976. And that album changed things in country music. And here's how, back then, it was the rock albums that would sell millions and 2 millions. But after this one of the Outlaws, we had a country record that sold 1 million copies. And really, that's when things changed for your family, wasn't it, Jenny? Can you remember before and after that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, before. We were just, they were struggling to get through everything. Like Waylon was doing really well in Arizona, and that's where my mom's from. And and Duane had grown up there too, so they kind of all knew each other already. And then one thing led to another. But what I was getting to is I was growing up, and I was probably 11 or 12 when that album came out. Yeah. And we went from just normal, you get one thing for Christmas, and you're going to school, and the parents are gone and you're with the babysitter, to just normal life pretty much, to blammo.
Blammo's a good word.
All these people are around and the prices go up, and all these things change around you, and for them and for us. And then we moved to Brentwood, which was where they settled, and
nice
where
area
Shooter
here in Nashville.
grew up, and they had the bigger house, and Waylon bought all the cars he wanted, and but eventually, because of his health, he sold a lot of that off. And they always talked about going back to Arizona, and they did in 2000. So,
wow.
But
there's a lot to tell. There really is. But, it is about songwriting, and I love when we get a little of the history as well. But let's play a song, and let's see. You played one the other night when we played another round together that I absolutely loved, and you got a little story about it. This is Ghost of Women Past.
Yeah. What it is I did have a couple different deals. I had a rock band with my older brother that moved here eventually from California, like Duane, and I had another girl band with my friend Angie, and then I kept pitching my songs and working on my music, but I was mostly a mom,
Yeah.
And so, and then I did go on the road with Mom and Waylon and sang backup a few years. I've been on their albums and Shooter's albums and my son now.
It's not like you weren't apart. I mean, you did a lot. Yeah.
And so Larry Knechtel had moved here, and his daughter Shelly became a good friend of mine. Me and her wrote this, and he was such a humble guy and one of the best piano players ever. He was like on Bridge Over Troubled Waters.
He played Bridge Over
Simon and Garfunkel.
The piano part that you're hearing on that, he played.
And he played some with me and my brother. But anyway,
wow.
So yeah, we wrote this song. So my whole point is, I mean, I grew up listening to rock, but then I grew to love country, and I became a Tennessee girl. I grew up here. And it's just in my accent, and it's not going away. My songwriting's not going away. No matter what I tried to do, I did all kinds of careers. And I've come back to it. And we'll talk more about stuff that I did after this. I'll just go ahead and sing this to show you I do love a good country song.
This is a good one.
She came into our room last night, and she slipped into our bed. I felt the room grow colder, so I slept downstairs instead. Sometimes I hear her footsteps as she tiptoes down the hall. Other times I swear I see her shadow on the wall. I'm tired of your memory. It's not an easy thing to do, living here with the memories of others loving you. I know you can't forget them, but if you want our love to last, someday you'll have to lay to rest the ghost of women past. You say that I'm the only one you will ever need, but as I watch you sleeping, I can see her in your dreams. Today she touched my shoulder as I watched you drive away. She whispered, oh, so softly, he'll come back to me someday. I'm tired of your memories. It's not an easy thing to do, living here with the memories of others loving you. I know you can't forget them, but if you want our love to last, you're gonna have to lay to rest the ghost of women past. You're gonna have to lay to rest the ghost of women past.
Well, that's pretty, and that's strong. What a great song. And again, the co-writer was, tell us again.
Shelly Knechtel, I think. She's a teacher. So that's probably the only song I know she wrote, but she's married to Michael White, who's a big-time writer here.
Yeah, he's a big writer here in Nashville, yeah. Well, that's something. It's a great song. And the first time I heard it was when we did it just recently at the Commodore Grill, and it went over so well. It's a great
That's a cool spot for writers.
Yeah.
A lot of writers in and out of there.
Yeah. So you've been writing since you were 10 years old, and you continue to write a lot today. Did you ever get any, I mean, how being the daughter of Waylon and Jessi and Duane, how did that affect your writing growing up? I mean, it had to, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're just kind of living in their shadow, I guess, and you don't realize it, but, you know, when stuff comes up and you're working on your music, it always comes up. some way, and so it's kind of harder to establish yourself as your own.
Yeah.
And Buddy Killen, he heard this song I was going to do next, that when I started writing gospel songs, it just came out of my faith eventually, that it came out in my songs. And Buddy Killen said, my kids struggle with the same thing, but you just gotta, make your own way as an artist and a writer, and not try to, and it just dawned on me later. I was like, what is he how do you do that? And then I finally figured out after I gave up on music, and I thought, I'll never be as good as them. I can't do this, or people are gonna think I have it all and I don't, and then they're like, oh, we don't want to help, whatever. You go through a lot of different things, but I thought, there's only one me.
Yeah.
And this is what I tell other writers and artists, don't compare yourself to other people. Don't try to be like anyone else. Just try to be you and be the best you.
Right.
And
that's such good advice. It
really
is.
And I think songwriting's so important. It's almost like we've lost that reverence for songwriting in a lot of ways that we used to have in the old days. That was like,
I agree.
where it all starts and how important that is. And I don't know, so many people are doing it now, and so many people are singing. I think that's why my parents too had that opportunity to be like pioneers, because not so many people were doing it then.
Yeah.
But what's great now is the internet. We can market ourselves. We can do stuff that Waylon wanted to do. Like he fought. That's why they called him the outlaw. Or called him
he fought for control of his
creative control.
Right, creative control.
Yeah,
because prior to that, like you had mentioned before we started recording, they were trying to put Waylon and Willie in the suits and the short hair, and and that just wasn't
doing these crooner songs or something, and that wasn't them, and so they kind of had to fight for that to get where they were, you know. And I saw a lot of the bad side of the business. I guess, like I said, that's why I didn't really want to be in it. But then, if you love it, and you love the writing, and it's a part of you, and I just think you should go for it, and so
be your own person, find your own voice, right?
Yeah, everyone deserves to have, I don't criticize other writers or what they do. Everyone has a perspective, kind of like beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
I agree.
You might think I'm beautiful, and some other guy might think I'm dog ugly. It's just, it's kind of like that with music. You should let people do their music.
Right.
And do what they want to do and appreciate the different genres.
And we've talked about this on past shows too. I hate putting people in a box. Yes.
And they couldn't put me in a box. That's part of the reason I didn't get a record deal, because I had bluesy stuff, I had country stuff, and
rock stuff,
and
gospel stuff.
Rock, and then later gospel.
Yeah.
And you just feel like people are saying, oh, she couldn't make it in the other one, so now she's doing gospel. No, that wasn't it. It just came out of my faith, because I believed in God and read the Word, and eventually my parents came back to that if they went away from it, or brothers and sisters. But I was always kind of like an odd man out in my eyes, because I'm not famous, I'm not normal.
Who wants to be normal?
I live with normal people who work 9 to 5, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And everybody has that dream of being recognized and making your mark. I did, we all do. But it's like, if you never became big and hit your dream, you can still have something to say. And like I would sing my songs for friends or people, and they'd be like, oh my God, that is so good. It just...
And charge Willie Nelson 10 cents to your song.
Love song to your boyfriend, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of going into business, writing songs for occasions or different...
Yeah.
You never know.
Never know.
Now on the internet, you can, as a songwriter, you can pitch songs to movies and stuff like you before. In the old days, you had to get in.
You really did.
With the label. Yeah. You had to be this, that, and the other. And if you didn't fit that box and that mold, well, you're just,
Exactly.
On your own.
Yeah. So... all good points. Mm-hmm. All good points. Let's get another song from you, and tell me a little bit more about this special song right here.
Well, this is my first gospel song, and it came in a rough time when I was sick. I didn't, I thought I was dying or something, and I thought, the best thing I can do is just praise God, just be thankful. Mm-hmm. It seems like when you do that, it opens the doors, to good things happening. Mm-hmm. But I wrote the song in the midst of a rough time. I guess you can write a song You could write a love song when you're depressed, or you could write a, praise song when you're feeling down. I don't know. Mm-hmm. What do you think about songwriting?
Oh, I think it's all about the song. I mean, the NSAI says that. It's all about the song. It all begins with a song, And I think sometimes it can lift that mood, And during hard times, songs like that are very special. So this came out of a hard time, this song.
Yeah, and you can change people's lives. I mean, like just riding over here, I heard a couple songs on the radio. It's like, man, I can relate with that. I got all the ways.
That's what it's all
not
about.
The means, whatever.
Yeah,
or
it's really what it's all about.
I brought the love to a gunfight,
Yeah.
I'm like, these are cool songs, know? So,
yeah.
Anyway.
So, play us this one. It's called I'm Blessed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does this piano sound okay?
Sounds good to me.
I will be fearless. I will be powerful. I will have peace of mind. 'Cause Lord, you're greater than my enemies, or evil spirits, or principalities. Jesus, your blood washes over me in sweet forgiveness. I am blessed. I will stand up now and receive your love and leave my past behind. 'Cause Lord, you're greater than my iniquities, or anything I've done, or anything I'd be. Jesus, your blood washes over me in sweet forgiveness. I am blessed. I am blessed, and I want to tell the whole world I am blessed with the kind and loving God. I am blessed not only with one who wants me, but who's been there all along. And I will sing praises. I will leave bitterness behind like it left me. And I'll be thankful for each new day and everyone I meet and every little thing. Jesus, your blood washes over me in sweet compassion. I can breathe. And I will love you with all my heart and soul, and all this peace of mind. I will give you everything I have, although it is not mine. 'Cause Lord, you bought me in your tenderness. You sacrificed yourself, and this I won't forget. Jesus, your blood washes over me in sweet forgiveness. I am blessed. I am blessed, and I want to tell the whole world I am blessed with the kind and loving God. Yeah, been there all along. We are blessed.
Yes, we are. We are blessed. And blessed to have you here on the Songwriter Connection podcast. It's Jenni Eddy Jennings playing around the dining room table, and I love when we get to do the music live. Yeah, sometimes when you're down, it's hard to get past yourself, and to say that it's not about me, and if you dig deeper, you find out you are blessed, and so that song is such a great message.
Thank
and
you
wrote that that's a single. All of you wrote that. That's all you.
That was my first
from the heart
gospel song, and I've gone on to write more. And then I've really had some of my best years in my later years because I had recorded a couple albums, wanting to put them out, and I had pitched stuff, and just for whatever reason, the writing deal, the record deal was elusive for me. But I thought, I'm not giving up. I feel like a calling.
Well, and not only that, you were raising your family at the time,
I've raised one kid, and then I turned around and ended up getting married again, raising another one.
Right.
And he's almost grown, so I'm like, he's almost grown. I can go back and just immerse myself in the music, because I thought, God, I've been waiting on you. But really, I thought he said, well, I'm waiting on you, While I was waiting on God, he was waiting on me, So I just thought, I got to put action into my words and go back to Nashville, because I'd gone out to Arizona for a while to spend time with Mom and shoot her. And then I came back to Nashville and just immersed myself in writing again. And, of course, I came back to be with my son and grandkids and all that, too. But, like I said, my son struggled. He's a rap artist, and he built his own business, started out, selling CDs out of his trunk, and got with other friends. And he got into rap because he didn't do an instrument or sing, but he was a really great writer. And I always encouraged him in his writing. But, he got in trouble. He was he got in some trouble here and there, and he overcame it. And he says that me being a good mom and teaching him good things helped.
Wow.
But he's lived a whole different life than me.
Yeah.
I lived a whole different life than my parents. It's funny how things go.
Yeah.
But when he saw them being so successful young, because he was just a year younger than Shooter, he wanted that. And he strove for that for years, and he's made it. He's doing really well.
Doing very well. And you talk about struggle, that your son's struggle. And you say he took his name because it was kind of a struggle.
Yeah, it was a struggle for us while they were really hitting it big. We were kind of still struggling.
Right.
And
yeah. But he really made something. Why don't I play this song next, okay? Since we're talking about struggle, you did a gospel record not too long ago.
Well, let me tell you this.
Tell me this story.
Once he became successful, now he's helped others, and he's starting to produce some. I guess that's what you do. Once you get somewhere, then you want to help others. And he knew I had, wanted to, that I felt this calling on my life to sing my songs of praise and out of my faith. I'd also struggled for years trying to get deals, writing, but mostly wanted to put my family first.
Yeah.
So when he hit it big, it just makes my heart. I meant to turn my phone down.
That's your phone. Okay, I was wondering where that is.
I'm so sorry. I meant to silence my phone, and somebody's texting me, which usually, if I wasn't doing anything, no one would call or text.
Of course.
But anyway, so it's just so sweet to my heart that, me and him were, we grew up together kind of, because I was so young when I had him. And now this other one I've had later, like Mom and Dad had Shooter. But, what's he do? He takes some money and he does this album, produces this album on me of my gospel songs, which I had been saying. I had one in particular, his rap would go really well in. And so they're all ones I wrote. Only one of them was co-written. It's 5 songs. It's called Spiritual Warfare. You can find it on iTunes or Spotify or all that.
It's out there. Yep.
And that's really my first album of my songs being put out. And of course he injected his rap into each song, but it was such a blessing and so sweet.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, me and my mom, we worked some together singing at some churches. And I don't know what happened exactly, but it was just kind of I got it going, and then if you don't keep that momentum going,
got to keep it going. Yep.
And you're not prepared for it. Like I didn't have my website and all that ready to give to everybody.
Oh, and it's coming.
And I've got more albums.
Yep.
I've got more stuff. One
Yes, you do.
album I did with Mom in Arizona, that's gospel. It charted when
We're going to get to that.
They put it out,
and I want you to play a song there. But I want to play this one from you and Struggle. This is a song you wrote. What's it going to take? And I love this song. And if you wondered, does rap and gospel mix? You answer that question after you hear this song. I love this song. This is great. This is you and your son, Struggle Jennings, together. And let's play this now on the Songwriter Connection podcast.
Let the sea rise up, let the earth cave in, let the sky fall down. What's it gonna take, what's it gonna take for you to come around? Let the sea rise up, let the earth cave in, let the sky fall down. What's it gonna take, what's it gonna take for you to come around?
Night falls on a hard day, but that new dawn was far from calm. I heard a gunshot and a car alarm. Soul and shackles in my heart and palm. No keys, free to owe me from that cold dream that they sold me. No sleep, got a restless mind looking out the blinds for them police. Got cold feet from the hot flames that I walked across to get where I'm at. Spirit broken, you can hear it crack. Smoke clears, I appear black. Family hungry, got mouths to feed, but there's no fear, better handle that. I know two wrongs don't make it right, but the rents do. Understand the math, fascinated with the fast life. I made a lot of cash just last night. I woke up in a cold sweat, flashing lights in a crash site. I see my family trapped in a wreck I caused, trying to make it out of my violent storm. Angels cry as my mama sings, get 'em Lord, then the widow mourns. I hear you loud and clear.
Let the sea rise up, let the earth cave in, let the sky fall down. What's it gonna take, what's it gonna take for you to come around? Let the sea rise up, let the earth cave in, let the sky fall down. What's it gonna take, what's it gonna take for you to come around? Don't you know what a price has been paid so you can live a life free of pain? Giving all your troubles to God above, who gave you everything. Don't you know you have a power within? Don't you know you've been set free from your sin? Don't you know what's gotta be? You gotta surrender to the one and only God. Let the sea rise up, let the earth cave in, let the sky fall down. What's it gonna take, what's it gonna take for you to come around? Let the sea rise up, let the earth cave in, let the sky fall down. What's it gonna take, what's it gonna take for you to come around? Come around. Come around.
Wow, what's it going to take? Jenni Eddy Jennings and her son Struggle Jennings. Now you tell me, does rap and gospel mix? It does. And if you think back You know, like when Elvis was starting out, did people think that what he was doing, you know, mixing country and gospel and soul together, that it could be a thing? You know, they didn't, you know? So you're exploring new things, and I just absolutely love it. That is a beautifully produced record. And Struggle produced this?
Yes, and Joe Spivey's doing that beautiful
violin.
Oh my God, yes.
Oh, that fiddle is just great in that song.
And we had some great musicians, great times. And another thing about the Struggle name, I think, is he believes, you know, through struggle, you get stronger, you overcome, you conquer. And he always say, you know, a setback is just an opportunity for a comeback, you know, and stuff like that. He's super positive. He inspires me.
That's great, yeah.
So,
wow, yeah, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, they say. Or I've seen it put, what doesn't kill you better run.
Yeah, and in the music business, you have to have perseverance.
Oh.
You have to be able to take rejection.
Thick skin.
You have to be able to overcome the odds and, you know, just shine your light.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I've heard, does it bother you? The first time I ever heard you play, the host of the night said, doesn't she sound a lot like her mom? Does it bother you when people say, boy, you sound a little like Jessi?
No, because we do. When we sing together, it's beautiful. So she's, in later years, has had me sing backup with her on an album she was doing with Margot Price, which we wrote one for her.
Wow. Margot?
Yeah, they're supposed to be putting that out, and some stuff gets delayed sometimes. But, you know, I think our voices blend really well. I thought my voice blended well with Waylon when I sang backup with him. I don't know, but family especially, biologically, you know, goes well together. And on that point, I was fortunate enough to do a song with my mother, my granddaughter, who's now an artist on her own.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, my son's on tour. If you catch his show, you'd love it. He always talks about overcoming, and, you know, they cuss a lot. But if you can get past the cussing.
That's just part of rap, right?
Yeah. No, but he's very inspirational. We just went to his show here in Nashville. But anyway, my mom, Brianna, me, and him. Now, that's 4 generations.
Yeah.
Singing together.
Right.
And I co-wrote this song in the studio with, you know, my son and his guitar player. And I don't know who I'll get. You know, you have a group in the studio there.
Yeah.
And I've written some songs for Brianna's albums. She's got a video out of one of my songs that I wrote with a friend.
You think that's Struggle's daughter?
That's my granddaughter.
Your granddaughter, right.
My first granddaughter. She's 21.
She's 21. Wow.
Can you believe I'm that old?
No.
I can't either.
You don't look that old.
We'll try not to, you know, bring the age up. But no, it doesn't bother me when people ask me about how I sound now. Sometimes it does when they walk up and say, your mom is so beautiful. I'm like, okay, what am I going to do with that? Thank you.
Thank you.
But what am I? You know, that makes me feel like, well, I'm darn it, I didn't get the beautiful gene. Sorry about that.
Oh, get out of here. You are.
But, you know, I'm not a Barbie doll type. That's okay. But anyway, so I'm so proud of this song.
Yeah, I think we should play
I'm so proud of my mom and my whole family. I love all of them. And, you know, I'm not trying to be negative any way. I'm just saying we all have our own, you know, paths we have to do, and it's not always pretty.
That's right.
But hey, you can strive and persevere and overcome, and if you keep the faith, you can do good.
That's right.
And affect others.
Well, so I want to play this. This is also a video that you can find on YouTube. It's out there. It's called Ace in the Hole. So this is Brianna, your granddaughter, and your son, Shooter, or Struggle, and you, and your mom. So 4 generations all on this great song.
He's just singing with us in the chorus.
Okay.
So she takes a verse, I take a verse, Mom takes a verse.
Okay.
And they didn't pick the best, in my opinion, just so y'all know the backstory. They didn't pick my best vocal.
They didn't?
They made me come in and sing it when I had a cold. So
yeah.
Forgive me for that.
Who wrote the song?
Well, I was saying we co-wrote it.
Y'all co-wrote it together.
Well, me and my son and his guitar player. I'm not sure who all was on the list. I'm terrible with names.
Yeah,
y'all
I am
have
too.
to forgive me. I know you're Dave.
I'm Dave.
Okay.
You're Jenny. So y'all wrote it together. Is there a story behind Ace in the Hole?
Well, he had this idea. He's producing Caitlin Curtis. He's producing, you know, my granddaughter, his albums. Him and his friend do Waylon and Willie albums. Him and Jelly Roll, the rap version of Waylon Willie. So, I mean, and I always love that he puts the country in it. He puts good, and you heard the musicians he uses.
Oh, gosh, top shelf. You're the best. Yeah.
So, but he had this idea of just us he wanted, while we're all alive and can do it, and not in prison or dead, we can do a song together.
Some families will do a family portrait. You guys did a family song.
Yeah.
And put it all together, and it's a great song.
We had to drive 24 hours to Arizona to do the video, so you can find the video.
You got to see the video. It's great. Let's play the song right now. It's Ace in the Hole, the whole family together.
Always taking the wrong roads, been misreading the signs, 'cause the map I was given was written in lies. I found safety on the sidewalk as your hand reached for mine. You poured me out at just the right time. You were sent here from heaven to hold my hand through hell. I could stay here forever. You take the pain I've known too well. I pray that this moment lasts longer than the heartbreaks I have felt. And I ace in the hole for the cause I was there.
The hands on that old clock seem to stop in your lungs. The dark disappears. Now my heart's free from harm. They say nothing lasts forever, but this feeling's a first. Please slow down. In my dreams, you're my heaven on earth. You were sent here from heaven to hold my hand through hell. I could stay here forever. You take the pain I've known too well. I pray that this moment lasts longer than the heartbreaks I have felt. You're my ace in the hole for the cause I was just. The light in the tunnel was a train moving fast. As I hold on to you, babe, I let go of my past. The war has been won, for love conquers all. When you lift me up, there's no way I can fall. You were sent here from heaven to hold my hand through hell. I could stay here forever. You take the pain I know too well. I pray that this moment lasts longer than
the heartbreaks I have felt, you're my ace in the hole. For the cards I was dealt, for the cards I was dealt.
Got to make the best of the cards you're dealt. And you're my ace in the hole. Jenni Eddy Jennings and her son's struggle, and her mom, Jessi Colter. Why isn't that stopping? Okay. And granddaughter, Brianna Harness.
Yes.
Great song. Ace in the hole. It's out there. If you like the song, you're going to love the video. And
It might have made it on radio, but it's a little long.
Yeah.
And we couldn't figure out quite how to cut it short. And really, it was just a dream of ours to do one as a family.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're just going to find it on the internet for now.
Yeah, please watch it. You're going to love it. You really will. That's cool, Jenni. And you wrote a song with your mom recently that was also getting attention and airplay. Tell us about that song, and maybe you can play that for us live too around the dining room table.
Okay, sure, yeah. It was a song she originally wrote for Waylon, the love of her life, And,
that is one of the greatest love stories in it really
is. And that ace in the hole, my son probably came up with that because him and his wife are the same way. Him and his wife, he's found. And I love a good love story, don't you?
Yeah, I do too.
I love hearing people. I haven't found mine yet, but I love hearing other people's.
Yeah, I do too. I do too.
So, but
and just I read the Waylon autobiography recently, and just the way he talked about Jessi and the love that they shared. I mean, it really is in that book.
Yeah,
and like I say, it's really one of the classic love stories.
Yeah, so. I mean, they never fought around us. They didn't act crazy around us or anything. And they always seemed in love. Like, he was always, like, pinching her, or bugging her, teasing her, whatever. Yeah. He got me where I tease a lot because he did that. So, I don't mean to offend anybody if I do. But we just believe in being real, having fun, and...
That's what it's all about.
Doing music, so...
Yeah. So, you wrote this song with your mom, and it got some play, and it's out there, too, and available, right? This is the Mountain Song?
Yeah, it was out there. It was on the radio for a while because I was working with a music magazine. They do Christian country. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I came back to Nashville the last few years. I've just been writing with all kinds of people. Just doing, trying to get some momentum going. And you just got to, I don't know, my Christian momentum kind of went back to country for a minute. Yeah. I still got more gospel albums to put out, and I still want to pursue that more. Good. I'm actually going to be singing with that group in August. It's a new venue they built called West Dawson. It's in Kentucky. August 6th. I'm going to be doing with some of the Christian country artists. There's some great ones out there like, Chris Golden and other people.
Oh, yeah.
So
Dad and the Oak Ridge Boys.
I'm still kind of in that group there, or made some good friends with that group.
That's great.
So this company, this music magazine, they put your, they'll take a song off your album, and I just made that gospel album. And they'll put it on the send out the radio for a few weeks and see how it does. And it got in the top 40, like in the first couple of weeks. And I don't know what else happened with it because I moved on, whatever. But this was one me and her wrote. It started out a love song for Waylon, and it evolved into, she wanted me to help her finish it or evolve it into like a love song for God.
Wow.
So that's what the story is.
Great.
You are the one for me. You are my highway, you're my eyes to see. Here I go drifting out on an endless sea. Here I go sifting sand till eternity. Your love, all I ever wanted. Your love, all I'll ever need. As the mountains surround Jerusalem, my hiding place. You're my destiny. I've been searching for what you give for free. When I was looking for you, you found me. Your love, all I ever wanted. Your love, all I'll ever need. As the mountains surround Jerusalem, your love surrounding me, surrounding me, surrounding me.
That is such a beautiful, beautiful song.
Thank you.
I love it, and I know it's emotional for you. But I love the story, and I love the song. So it started out as a love song to Waylon.
Yeah.
And then you and your mom, finished it up. And it's out there. Where can we find it?
It's on the one EP I did in Arizona. It's produced by some great guys out there, great musicians out there, and it has a real good raw sound. It's called Visions and Dreams, but I'm in the process still of getting all my stuff on a website and on the platforms.
Right.
And so that one's going to be put out along with some other ones, hopefully this year.
I think that'll be a big one for you. It's great. It really is. Now, Jenny, you've got a lot of good things happening. You really do, and I'm such a fan, and I just want to thank you again for being on the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
I love your story, and I love what you're doing. I think you just had to write for the right time. You're raising your family, and I think that time is now. And
I have a song that's perfect for what's been going on in this crazy world.
You do?
Yeah, and it's kind of like a song of call to peace.
You want to maybe try and take us out with a bit of it?
No, that's going to be, I'm going to make you guys have to wait for that one.
All right,
because I'm going to put it out as a single. I was going to put it out last year.
Good. Could you at least tell us what it's called?
Well, yeah, I can sing the chorus.
Okay.
Where do we grow from here?
We grow from here. I love it.
Torn down fences and bridges burned. Where do we grow from here?
Oh, yeah.
And all we've done, what have we really learned?
Oh, I love it. What a great hook. It's fantastic. Jenni Eddy Jennings has been our guest on the Songwriter Connection podcast. I thank you for downloading and listening and being a part of our show. I also appreciate you spreading the word and sharing it on the socials, if you will. Join us next time for the show. I've got a special guest, a gentleman from the Dallas area of Texas, and he's a producer and a songwriter. In fact, he's had a recent #1 with Alicia Keys. So we're very interested in talking to him on the next show. We hope that you'll join us then on the Songwriter Connection podcast. Jenny, thank you again. Good
Thank
having you. Yeah.
Thank you for listening to the Songwriter Connection podcast. Find us on social media at Songwriter Connection. Also, listen to Dave Linehan's Nashville Connection radio show. It streams live every Friday morning on WOBL and WNOI. Look for us on Facebook and YouTube. See you next time on Songwriter Connection.